This is not independence. This is neural disconnection. An insecure attachment system develops. The child does not know if help will come. And a safe parent builds a brain that can tolerate emotions, form relationships, and exist without fear.
Hello and welcome to Professor Aurism. How parental presence shapes the child's brain, relationships, and sense of self. The brain learns from patterns of interaction, not from intentions. So far in this season, we have learned one key lesson. If we only look at a child's behavior, we almost always reach the wrong conclusion. Praise, lying, defiance, not listening, even extreme obedience. None of these make sense without understanding the brain. In episode 5, we learned that the child's brain is not motivated by rewards, but by meaning and competence. In episode 6, we learned that lying is often a sign of cognitive development, not moral failure, and that the parent's reaction decides whether this skill grows into maturity or turns into anxiety and secrecy. Now, in episode 7, we focus on the most powerful factor shaping a child's brain: the way a parent is present. Not the words they say, not their good intentions, but the daily neural pattern of interaction. Today's main question is simple. What does a child's brain actually learn when the parent is strict or emotionally unavailable? 1. How the child's brain registers a parent. For a child's brain, a parent is not just an adult. Neurologically, the parent is the regulator of survival. In early childhood, the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the autonomic nervous system are still immature. The child cannot regulate emotions alone. So the brain keeps asking the parent's silent questions. Is the world safe? Am I seen? When I make a mistake, am I destroyed, or can I recover? These questions are not answered by lectures. They are answered by tone of voice, facial expression, response time, and emotional consistency. And these answers go straight into neural wiring. 2. The strict parent. A brain always on alert. A strict parent is not always a bad parent. Often, they are anxious. Often, they want to raise the child correctly. But from the child's brain perspective, the main message is this: mistakes are dangerous. Common features of this style include high control, constant correction, focus on results instead of process, low tolerance for errors, and emotional punishment such as silence, anger, or threat of rejection. What happens in the brain? First, the amygdala becomes overactive. The child's brain learns to scan constantly. Am I about to fail? Am I about to be rejected? Second, the prefrontal cortex weakens. When the brain feels threatened, logical decision-making and flexible thinking do not develop well. Third, the child becomes either overly compliant or secretive. Calm on the outside, anxious on the inside. A common example: a child who always gets perfect grades but has stomach pain before exams, freezes when making mistakes, and later in adolescence either collapses or explodes. This child was not well disciplined. This child was conditioned. 3. The emotionally unavailable parent. A brain that learns to be alone. An emotionally unavailable parent is not necessarily uncaring. They may be depressed, overwhelmed, focused on survival, or believe that independence means emotional distance. But the neural message is clear: your emotions do not matter. This style often includes delayed or inconsistent responses, emotional dismissal, minimizing feelings, and little emotional conversation. The brain impact is serious. First, an insecure attachment system develops. The child does not know if help will come. Second, the hippocampus stores emotional memories that are vague and painful, not processed, not integrated. Third, the child becomes either overly independent or overly clingy and anxious. An example: a child who does not cry, does not ask for help, but later struggles with closeness or forms distant, cold relationships in adulthood. This is not independence. This is neural disconnection. 4. How these patterns shape relationships and self-image. The child's brain generalizes the parent pattern to peers, to authority figures, and to the self. A child raised by a strict parent may submit to others or dominate them, fear judgment intensely, and measure self-worth through performance. A child raised by an emotionally unavailable parent may keep emotional distance, or become anxiously dependent, and struggle to recognize feelings. Most importantly, both struggle in their relationship with themselves. One develops a harsh inner critic, the other develops an emotional void. 5.3 Neurologically safe ways to interact. Neural safety does not mean control. It does not mean neglect. It means co-regulation. First, be responsive, not reactive. See the emotion before correcting behavior. Regulate first. Teach second. Second, treat mistakes as data, not threats. Errors are information, not shame. Third, maintain emotional consistency. The child must know that emotions do not cause rejection. These are not techniques. They are neural patterns. A child does not become what we tell them. A child becomes what their brain repeatedly experiences. A strict parent builds a brain stuck in survival mode. An emotionally unavailable parent builds a brain that learns to stay alone. And a safe parent builds a brain that can tolerate emotions, form relationships, and exist without fear. Visit our website, ProfessorAutism.com, subscribe to our newsletter, and receive your free guide, Brain Boosting Smoothies for Reducing Inflammation in Children with Autism.